the strategic direction of UNESCO's future action on this important topic. Speaking in more concrete terms, I learned that discussions today are expected to feed into the development of civil society recommendations during UNESCO's NGO Forum on Artistic Freedom in June. I also learned that their discussions will provide input to UNESCO's training module, which is to be developed in order to train governmental actors, civil society stakeholders, unions and associations of artists on how to address artistic freedom within UNESCO's normative framework. Finally, Jakarta discussions, I believe, will
Thank you for waiting, ladies and gentlemen. On the left side of this room, some seats are still empty. May we kindly request you to be seated at the first and the second rows of this room first.
Artists and journalists should use this opportunity to join forces, to share views and experiences on media diversity, freedom of expression, and artistic freedom. Artists may be inspired and learn from media monitoring tools. To be able to wish you a and an overall
distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and welcome to the consultative roundtable on the feasibility of social mechanism for the promotion of and protection and the safety of journalism in Asia. Occasion was President Day 2017. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to commence the program, now we would like to invite His Excellency Wang Lahu, Assistant Director General for Communication and Information of UNESCO, to deliver his remark.
Good morning to everyone. Mr. Minister, Mr. Ambassador, colleague from the Council, from the Press Council, let me say this is a big honor for me to represent the Director General of UNESCO in this event and to be here this morning in this wonderful, magnificent occasion that we're beginning the International Day for the promotion and protection of the right to freedom of expression and the right to freedom of the press and safety of journalists. For us, this is a very important date every year, not because it is a date where we only think about safety of journalists on May 3rd or on freedom of expression, because this date will symbolize what we plan to do the rest of the year. It is very important for us to understand the role that journalism plays in daily life and especially in a democratic society. 250 years ago, there was a legislation passed in Sweden. There was the first law on access to information and freedom of expression. And it was interesting because the concept they had in this law that was 250 years old was that if we're all looking for the common good, we must have the participation of all citizens. And in order to have the participation of all citizens, we must have freedom of expression so they can access information, to have the knowledge they need to make decisions. So this was the basis of the thinking of why a democracy today needs a free press and a free media. Because the people, the citizens, want to participate, but in order to participate, they need to have information. But today, in our current agenda of United Nations, was recognized in the General Assembly of 2015, the new agenda, the 2030 agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals. And what's interesting is that in Goal 16 out of the 17 goals, there was the conditions established to reach development in every nation. And this was agreed by consensus, all the nations that are members, all the states that are members of United Nations. And it was agreed by consensus that 5 basic conditions. You need societies that are, number one, that are in peace. Secondly, that are inclusive. That means no discrimination to anyone for any reason. Thirdly, that guarantee access to justice. This is a fundamental element of any society. Fourth, that they have transparency and combat corruption to be effective in the development world. And fifth, the guarantee, it says the wording, public access to information. And to guarantee public access to information means initially a free press. The media is an essential element for accessing this information for all the public. So now we say that this freedom of the press and the safety of journalists that must come with it are not only a human rights element, are not only a fundamental element of democracy, but today in the new agenda of the world, they are a fundamental element for development. And this is crucial. Only the nations that understand that and that guarantee these 5 conditions will truly boost development and improve the standard of living for their citizens. This is what we're celebrating today. The fact that we believe in a free press, that we believe in the safety of journalists, and that we also believe that this is the effort of all societies around the world. Why are we celebrating this today in Indonesia, in Jakarta? Because we wanted to have a symbolic occasion for the Southeast Asia region. We believe that we have had every year in a different location the event to draw the attention of different sectors of society around the world. And today we felt that it was very important to convene this crucial region of the world where you have many governments, but also you have a very strong and organized civil society and a very strong press. And this for us was crucial. So we are thankful to the government of Indonesia for cooperating with UNESCO and sponsoring this. This is very crucial. But we also believe that this is a strong multi-stakeholder meeting where everyone will have a possibility of participating under one common element, which is the element that we all journalism plays for society. This crucial mission of informing society. And therefore, there has to be a concerted effort. And according to Goal 16 that we just mentioned, we also believe that every nation of the world should have a mechanism of safety of journalists to guarantee the safety in several ways. From the legal framework, which guarantees freedom of expression, freedom of the press, protection of the sources, access to public information, access to connectivity and digital communications. Policies of prevention, defined by the political leaders of the different countries of the region. And this is very important. These policies have to be put in place. And finally, a very important element is the eradication of impunity, that all cases of harassment, oppression, violence, and materialism have to be fully investigated and accounted for, and those responsible have to be brought to trial. Because this is the only way to truly end any form of violence, materialism, and the threats to safety. This is what Make Third Rail stands for. And this is what we're sharing with the whole region of Southeast Asia and the world. We believe that this is a common element that we can share for the future to make this new agenda and the new perspective possible. We are thinking that we're dealing with difficult times, and precisely the biggest guarantee of good journalism, of safe journalism, of freedom of the press, is to have a critical voice from society itself, from the public. And this is why we think that enhancing, especially from the younger generations, to the oldest, a critical mind is crucial, which is why we have the name of this campaign, Critical Minds for Critical Times. If we can reach the goal of developing critical minds, especially amongst our young women and men, then we will have succeeded in this mission of establishing a free and effective press, establishing democracy, and enhancing the possibilities.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Now we would like to invite the Excellency Ambassador Francisco Fontan Pardo, Ambassador of the European Union to ASEAN, to deliver a remark.
To UNESCO for inviting me in this occasion, and for thinking of the European Union to contribute with its own views on the matter. I'm very honored, I'm very happy to be here with all of you this morning in this very important event that will be continuing tomorrow with the official Freedom of Expression Day. Again, I'm really happy that you have thought about the possibility of having a little bit of a side event to discuss on how this is evolving in ASEAN, and to give me the opportunity to talk to you about how we see this from the European perspective. I am the head of a very young mission. We only established ourselves here in Jakarta 18 months ago. All our focus is on EU-ASEAN cooperation. Our cooperation with ASEAN goes across the three pillars. I don't know how familiar you are with the setup of the ASEAN system, but they have the economic, the political security, and the socio-cultural, and we have a very strong cooperation with them across those three pillars. More concretely, on the human rights socio-cultural pillar, we cooperate also intensively with the different bodies that meet at ASEAN level to discuss these kind of issues. So we are, let's say, pretty familiar about the ASEAN agenda on human rights, its own internal institutional development, and its own challenges as well. We are partners with them in this endeavor. I have something like 2 pages here in front of me of to what degree we support the UN Human Rights Council, the UN system, UNESCO, in its efforts to ensure freedom of expression across the world. As I have seen that the UNESCO representative from that meeting as well. Maybe I would like to highlight the special stress that I see on the European context on focusing on offline but also online freedom of expression. When we talk about critical minds and being able to have critical assessment of news nowadays, especially important, we all know that most of the young people, most of the future is really online. So that perspective, which as you know is a complex one in terms of global governance, in terms of market perspective, is one that the European Union is supporting and looking into with a lot of insistence. There is a whole range of areas that have to do not just with, let's say, values and rights, important as they are, but also in terms of security, of privacy of data, has to do with news, but it also has to do with marketplace. All those areas nowadays are very, very intertwined, and we think it's something that could be quite interesting also for us, looking as they try, as they work to build up their own ASEAN economic community. So we need to look at these things from the technological point of view, from the technological governance point of view, from the market point of view, and certainly from the freedom of expression itself point of view. Before I speak briefly to you about what we do in our external relations regarding freedom of expression, I wanted to highlight that we also have our own domestic challenges in Europe when it comes to this matter. We are not immune in Europe. I don't think we are immune anywhere in the world to attacks of expression. So we have domestic strategies to deal with that. We also support programs inside Europe, looking at what happened on the press situation inside Europe. We support organizations at European level that try to track and monitor what's going on across the whole press and media world in Europe, and try to put forward analysis that are objective and point clearly and transparently what's working and what's not. Those kind of things, one way or another, in other continents as well, and of course I think it would be also experience for Asia, for Southeast Asia. But when it comes to foreign affairs, we support freedom of expression through a wide range of instruments worldwide. The most known one is for us, the European Instrument for Democracy and Human Rights. We have a special focus and support to freedom of media, freedom of expression. More than 300 activities in the last couple of years. Special focus on also on bloggers, not just on professionals of journalism, important as that is. And again, we have institutional cooperation with us, and we perfectly go into that direction. If as it was interested in pushing the agenda, which they are, we work very closely with culture, the aspect of human rights, and they have organized meetings and seminars in the last couple of years directly linked to these matters. So clearly it is in their agenda, as you all know, it is in your own Declaration of Human Rights, in the Article 23, where there is a very clear, strong statement of expression and freedom of thought. So the ASEAN member states' commitment to freedom of expression is enshrined in your highest document. It's also enshrined in different ways, in different contexts across your countries, and as European Union will be extremely interested to support and work with UNESCO, with the ASEAN member states to support and defend freedom of expression, which is a never-ending cause. It's not something that we will ever achieve 100% all over the world. So the comeback goes on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Ambassador Francisco von Pardo. Thank you very much for the remark. Now we would like to invite His Excellency Bapak Rudiantara, Minister of Communication and Information Technology of the Republic of Indonesia, also to deliver a speech. Pak Rudiantara, please.
Excellency Ambassador, Mr. Leroux, who represents the UNESCO. I believe there is representative from ASEAN as well in this room, distinguished speakers, participants, and colleagues from press councils. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to extend my warmest welcome, although in this room it's quite cold though. Let's chill. To all distinguished participants on consultative roundtable on the feasibility of special mechanisms for promotions and protections of freedom of expressions and the safety of journalists in Southeast Asia. We welcome you to one of the largest digital economy in Southeast Asia, which has named as one of the world's social media capitals by its number of Twitter and Facebook users. Indonesia, with more than 250 million population spread across the vast geographical regions, plays key elements for the development in Southeast Asia. As the home of diversity, Indonesia has determined continual support to freedom of expressions as part of democracy and human rights. Since the reform era, Indonesia has eliminated restrictions of freedom of expressions and freedom of the press by a number of guarantees which inserted into the amended constitutions and by the passing of several laws, such as Law number 39 in 1999 of Human Rights, Law number 40 for the press law, and Law number 32 on the broadcasting. The enactment of the Law of number 14 in 2008 on the public information openness also expressed our belief that right to information and public participations to policy making will strengthen the performance of democracy in this country. During the past few years, the development of media in Indonesia has been fascinating. It is estimated more than 47,000 media in Indonesia. This is according to my colleague from Indonesia Press Council, where 43,000 are online media. Now, it is understood why the number is so high, because in this country, we don't need to get an approval to establish the media. With the rapid development of information and communications technology, Indonesia has also witnessed the rise of social media and its impacts to the quality of democracy and exceptionally freedom of expressions. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, despite of the media development, statistically, most Southeast Asia countries sit in the bottom third of Reporters Without Borders Annual Press Freedom Index by 2017. Whilst Freedom House 2017 categorized most of as not free, quote unquote, except for Indonesia and Philippines, which were categorized as partly free. It was stated that press freedom has declined to its lowest point during 2016 amid exceptional threats to journalists and media outlets. This fact shows that the media development has been unequal, with guaranteed protections for the safety of the journalist. Cases of violence, harassment, and attacks journalists and media workers continue to rise, at least quantitatively. We have to see from qualitatively as well, you know. In Indonesia alone, cases occurred on 2016 has been the highest, again, quantitative based in the last 10 years according to Indonesia Independent Journalist Alliances, with a total of 78 cases. Honorable participants, the establishment of regional mechanisms for the promotions and protection of the freedom of expressions, including its press freedom and safety of journalists in Southeast Asia, may be one of the key to bridge the problems. Such mechanisms could be designed to monitor and promote freedom of expressions, which provide prevention actions, protection to safety of journalists, and also recommendations in ensuring compliance with international standards beyond Southeast Asia. On the other hand, the mechanism should also address fulfillment to journalist ethics and professionalism as part of protections to the safety of journalists. This consultative roundtable is a very distinctive opportunity for us to deliberate and explore striking ideas in materializing such mechanisms. This forum has bring together expertise from key national, regional, and international network, and I believe that these collaborations will construct strong and valuable outcomes to the development of freedom of expressions in Southeast Asia. Lastly, let me once again welcome you and wish you all a fruitful roundtable discussion. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Pak Rudiantara.
I have to prepare by
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen,
prepare by myself.
the final speech from the Minister has concluded the opening session of this program today. And we would like to invite Excellencies Ambassador Pak Rudiantara, also the front, to come to the stage, to come to the front of the table, to have the photo session.
We are from the press industry, but still a lot of formality. This is something that I really hate.
And as token of appreciation from UNESCO, Assistant Director General for Communication and Information of UNESCO, His Excellency Frank Larue, would like to present the token of appreciation from UNESCO to Ambassador Francisco Fontan Pardo. And token of appreciation to the Minister of Communication and Information Technology of the Republic of Indonesia, Bapak Rudiantara. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It was the conclusion of the opening session of this program, and then we will have 10 minutes for a technical break before we come to the first session of today's agenda. Since the Minister will have the press conference in a different room, and then we will have 10 minutes break only for the technical preparation for the next session.